Good morning. Good morning to you all. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I welcome you all to this incredibly wonderful event. My name is Marilyn Waller. I'm the chair of the Board of Trustees, and I am extremely honored to be up here addressing you all today and joining in this celebration. Before we go on to the celebration, I'm going to take a minute and we'll join in a brief period of silence in honor of our beloved head of school, Dr. Macdonald, who unexpectedly passed away last week. I want to honor his family who is here today, Catherine and her children and some of the other Macdonald relatives. We welcome you and thank you for joining us. We'll have a moment of silence, please. All right, now we have honored him in the way that he would like, and it is time to celebrate. I want to welcome this incredible class, 2023. You're about to walk out of here as proud graduates of Eagle Hill, and we are so proud of you all. I want to welcome all of you parents, grandparents, family, friends who have trusted us over these last, whether it's a year or 5 years, to take care of your children and to believe in the promise that we made, each and every one of you, either in Dr. Macdonald's office or somewhere along the way, that we would take care and we would meet our obligations, and your child would stand up here this year and receive a diploma and go on in life. And thank you. Thank you, all of you, for trusting us with that. I know sometimes it was hard, but we were able to do it. And I could not be prouder of this class. You all have been through a lot. Many of you went through COVID with us. You stuck with it. We have IB students. We've got all kinds of award students. We have really the most wonderful, inspirational class. And it is our largest class, but in many ways, it feels like a much more intimate class, and I want you to really think about what that means for all of us. Certainly, in the last few days, all of you have proved that to us. You have supported us, you have supported the faculty, we've supported you as well, but I want you to know what you've given us, and we all very much appreciate it. So thank you. And now for the really exciting part that you've all been waiting for, I'd like to welcome Rick Macdonald to the stage. The Ode to the Class of 2023.
Good morning, everyone. It's Macdonald, not McDonald. Spelled correctly. As many of you know, the writing and the reciting of this poem was a favorite tradition of Dr. Macdonald's, of PJ's. It's perfectly representative of our school and our commitment to each and every individual student, and also to his dedication and belief that all of us should know every student. it is my honor to deliver his poem today. One note before I begin, a few seniors recently received notice of either getting off of wait lists or moving into new colleges. I'm very proud of you, I'm happy for you, but for the purpose of the poem, would it have killed you to choose a school with the same number of syllables? But no, you went from Western North Dakota Institute of Technology to PACE. All right. Dear colleagues, families in the class of 2023, you expected the doctor, and well, you get me. I know after so many years it has to be weird to look up here and see a bald head and beard. It's like you asked for a Coke and got, is Pepsi okay? And it's not the same, but what can you say? Seniors, how unfair. Your freshman year ended with COVID-19. Now your poem gets read by some guy that you've seen at the dining hall often and sometimes the gym. And a few of you are probably like, wait, how do we know him? And I'm sure PJ is laughing above. Many of you parents know why. He's got the whole crowd listening to his fundraising guy. So apologies for any mispronunciations or errors. As you know, I'm standing for a veteran, and this is my first rodeo. So let's do this. All right. Spencer Abrams is first. From down south he's flown, coming to Hardwick from Boca Raton. A quiet young man, as kind as you'll see, embraces the winters, he loves to ski. Alas, not for long, as next year he returns to Florida and Rollins, for the sunshine he yearns. From the Garden State he hails, the town of Tenafly. One thing about Liam Altschul, he's such a nice guy. A rower, a runner, and also a foodie, testing local restaurants, his sacred duty. All of Dr. Miller's classes he certainly did like. Next year at College of New Jersey, he'll major in psych. From Hopkinton, Mass., where the marathon does start, Kat Obbett loves animals, such a kind heart. A voracious reader, a singer, and she simply loves to dance. A fan of Kenozik says hello at each chance. We will miss you, Kat. Your time here has been great. All the best next year as you start at Plymouth State. Ethan Bashaw was with one meal obsessed, a whole meat lover's pizza, a lot to digest. A lacrosse player, too, on the field running free. Outdoors and nature is his place to be. Fittingly headed west to the mountains next year. Western Colorado U to join the Mountaineers. And another from New Jersey, one of many through the years, an esteemed corps member and leader is Andrew Beers. He looks up to his brother and all of his success, but Andrew's own accomplishments are sure to impress. In addition to corps, he played golf and basketball, headed to the College of Charleston next fall. Between his height and his build and the hair on his head, Wyatt Boyd stands out. You'll never miss Big Red. More important, though, are the qualities inside. Kindness and loyalty too great to hide. A lacrosse star and a mentor to younger kids in the gym. College of Charleston, also next for him. Peter Burke hails from across the pond. Of his polite demeanor, all teachers are fond. In the makerspace, working on projects galore, helping Hopt and his classmates make the Eagles soar. A gap year to start, then off to Florida it is. Success at Lynn U will surely be his. Lucia Calvert hails from New York, just north of the city. Some opponents underestimate her, oh, what a pity. A fierce competitor on the field and the courts, and an honor roll student in addition to sports. Accepted to many schools and with scholarships too. Her choice for next year, James Madison U. A basketball star with impeccable manners, Hampton Carver politely helped us hang 3 more banners. He also plays lax, but didn't get to play here. He's left his stick in Harb's office for over a year. Twin Tower with Boyd, Wolf his other best bro. He's headed back to the south, to Ole Miss he will go. Max Casado came west to Hardwick from Boston, Mass., one of the most thoughtful members of his class. Mature and resourceful, with resilience within, and he's also known for his Cheshire Cat grin. U Denver next year, where I know he'll reminisce about the Zoom meetings with Riendo and his parents he'll miss. A presence who truly needs no introduction, Spencer Charrington has been in every theater production. dynamic, outgoing, with a fierce sense of style, and for friends always willing to go the extra mile. From the frenzy of New York to Hardwick's measured pace, next up is McDaniel, his next home to embrace. From the big city of New York, Jamie Chung arrived, a great thinker and debater. He certainly has thrived. He goes deep into topics, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the grilling he always gets from Bliss. Playing tennis and squash, he's a racket sports guy, and next year off to Curry College, he'll fly. Technical theater is something Ashton Crump knows about. Now that he's leaving, it's Carl we're worried about. He loved classes with Geary, both writing and lit, did his first acting and working, performance legit. We will miss him as a student, a friend and technician, an apprenticeship next to become an electrician. Sebastian Dueño from Puerto Rico. For history, he goes nuts and somehow survives on chocolate-frosted donuts. A golfer and big fan of aviation, music promotion with Dad, his future occupation. Loyola University in New Orleans, his next feat. Best of luck, Sebastian. You won't miss a beat. From the Blue Ridge Mountains in the state of NC, Jacob Fendler is brilliant taking full IB. Hardworking and talented, a technological genius. He tried to make his own key card just for convenience. He makes homemade pasta, cooking for fun, a gap year next year now that high school is done. Evan Gage is hardworking, a grinder from Needham. When it comes to his effort, no one will beat him. 3 years of ultimate, swimming and soccer for 2. Veterinarian or teacher, there's nothing he can't do. He always made time for Kenozik, one of his faves. Roger Williams in the fall, on the coast he'll make waves. Olivia Goldfarb arrived from the Mass North Shore. She swam for 3 years, and our coaches want more. Competing in New England's a force in the pool, and one of the nicest young women at school. Next up is St. Michael's College in September. Your time at EHS we will always remember. One of those great students for which we give thanks, Marisa Gracias, fittingly, is in the top ranks. A full IB student and a member of Core 2, usually tied at the hip with her friend Montague. We're sad to see you go, but turn our frowns upside down when we think of your future next year at Georgetown. Madeline Hornsby came from Ohio and has done oh so well, stepping out of her comfort zone and out of her shell. She's immersed herself in things of all sorts, working on sets and theater, playing multiple sports. She's found her voice and has turned into a star. Next up is High Point. We know she'll go far. Maddie Howell is happiest when there's a beach nearby. There's no shortage in her hometown of Middletown, RI. Hard at work in the gym, on the soccer field a leader. A team with new players, they really did need her. Horticulture and metalwork, a fun combination. SUNY Cobleskill for you is a perfect destination. If you find yourself smiling, feeling full of cheer, odds are if you look around, Devon Heyer is near. She loves the expression, taking it day by day, and her room is the best on campus, Miss Cranford would say. She's headed down south for warm weather and sun. Rollins College is calling. Your work here is done. Our winter in Hardwick was mild this year. Perhaps Salo Jelke brought Miami's warmth here. An artist, a singer, and as grateful as can be, her appreciation of others as sincere as you'll see. We'll miss her and her smile. Great things headed her way at Emmanuel College, though we wish she could stay. For 5 years he's driven here. There's no dispute. Griffin Jones, a day student, had a champion commute. The consummate gentleman, always a smile on his face. Photographer and a rower, snapping pics, keeping pace. After years of driving west, now finally he's not. Eastward for college, enrolling at Endicott. He's made an impression, and we do hold him dear. It's hard to believe Serge Kelly's been here for 1 year. On the soccer field of force, he's one of the best, and a good friend too, his dog Winston can attest. Next up, a bigger stage and a field where he'll fly. Psychology and soccer, he'll do both at Adelphi. A remarkable man from Falls Church, VA. Davis Kendrick is a friend to everyone, they say. An animal lover, he many times proudly volunteered at the shelter with Mrs. Gowdy, and a 3-season athlete at home in the gym. University of Denver is lucky to get him. A determined young woman with younger siblings to watch over, Abby Kirby comes west from the town of Andover. Consummate team player, supportive of all, a rock star manager she was for volleyball. Her college of choice will be Sacred Heart. We know she's going to be great from the start. From Westfield, Mass., both a dreamer and a doer, Max Cosmeter is industrious and an entrepreneur. He loves working on trucks, sometimes driving them to school. He also wrestles and a varsity swimmer in the pool. We're so impressed with the work he did here, and next up is Wentworth to be an engineer. A bit homesick at first, Will Kraus settled right in, best friends with beers, Andrew, through thick and thin. A Kimball Farms worker and a big fan of sports. He'll sit and discuss and debate on all sorts. He played soccer, played golf, and played basketball. New England Institute of Tech, his school for next fall. Run as far as you want, bike as fast as you can. You won't beat Andre Lazarus, our own Iron Man. And while his endurance and speed are the rage, he's equally talented in theater on stage. Emerson College will see what he's all about. More records to set there, we have no doubt. Hailing from Amherst, just west of here, Sierra Learned Miller in goal gave soccer players fear. She's close with Miss Velvet and Mr. Geary she will miss. Of her path after here, I can promise you this. She'll be the one to call for a style that's cool, studying cosmetology at D. Grigoli School. There are so many kids in this class, it's unbelievable. I'm like halfway done, I'm sorry. Everything's bigger in Texas, as the saying goes, like Ryan Levitt's chess skills, as everyone knows. He started a club so many could play and battled Zuniga on many a day. He tried cross country, a risk, and he flourished. A gap year up next, where his growth will be nourished. From Brookline, Mass., Owen Long is his name, and long was his hair, among the best in the game. A makerspace whiz kid, one of Hop's best, working on the Eagle, he hardly did rest. Destined for success, and there's more good news too. I hear there's no dress code at American U. Quiet at first, maybe even reserved, Matt Madriparela's wit was observed by all of his teachers and all of his friends. His work ethic in the gym, it never ends. 4 years of woodshop with creativity galore. Next, thriving at American University in store. Sam Marabella is a peacekeeper. He knows pacification. He's also a master of procrastination. Fitting then how choosing his next school took so long. He was admitted to his first choice, but what if he chose wrong? After some time, he came back to the beginning. U Hartford for Sam. He had Kozier's hair thinning. Sienna Marrero can do any puzzle in her path, just like she tackles advanced science and math. Committed and focused as a member of crew, and fast laps in the pool on the swimming team too. Her EHS year's done, now off to seize the day at Marshall University down in West VA. There's a quiet confidence in Colin McDade, as seen in the role of star witness he played. Mock trial star, his preparation shown, like his all-school announcements and trademark monotone. He was determined and successful in his college pursuit. He chose Northeastern, and that we salute. Declan McGinty's from the town of Medway, and on the soccer field, man, can he play. In basketball and ultimate, his skills are top tier, and an even greater actor, tackling roles with no fear. Always making people laugh and making people smile. He'll do great at Kenyon College, there's no denial. Ned Mickey came from Bethesda, MD, a purposeful young man and a core member is he. Athletic and driven, a lacrosse star too. That is, after all, what Maryland men do. University of New England, our loss is their gain. We wish you the best as you head up to Maine. Caitlin Montague, where do we start? Thoughtfulness, dedication, and kindness of heart. An athlete, an artist, and loyal to her core, student council, campus planner, and there's even more. Here you've accomplished all that can be done. Now off to Roger Williams to do more and have fun. Catherine Moody came in 8th grade. For 5 years she's been here. A young kid at first, now a proctor this year. Outgoing and happy, and above all else kind, and the best sense of humor that you'll ever find. Soccer, crew swimming, and an intern AD, a star at Dean College, you're meant to be. Issa Marias hails from the Bahamas, Miami, and Brazil. That's why she picked Hardwick. She needed to chill. Fittingly, for one from such sunny destinations, her smile can light up any and all conversations. Not as hot as Miami, but North Carolina will do. High Point University is next up for you. For 2 years at EHS, J.J. Morelli has done it all. 2 league titles for this point guard. He really can ball. He learned guitar this year just for fun, and on the ultimate field, many battles he has won. In college, we're certain his good times will keep rolling. He's off to Belmont Abbey. He was recruited for bowling. Amy Nelson came from Grafton, followed by her brother. If you need a hard worker, you'll need no other. She has a thirst for learning that cannot be beat, and she might be the kindest person you'll meet. She'll continue her quest in keen pursuit of knowledge. Eagle Hill complete. Next up, Landmark College. Gabrielle Veloza is at home in the makerspace, creating fire pits that can light up the place. Often seen spending time with her pal Margot Souter. You've grown so much here, we could not be prouder. Her future is bright, and there's no doubting that. Next year, she heads north, a UNH Wildcat. Thank you. I dare you to get a rise out of Skylar Palmer. There's never been a student who acts any calmer. A core member, he embodies our value of honesty, and a computer club member also is he. To know him is to respect him, no need to explain. They've got a good one heading off to Champlain. Tuva Parson came all the way from Stockholm in Sweden. Her technical theater skills cannot be beaten. Her diligent efforts supported our plays, and a rock star in IB Math with Blaze. Gap year comes next, then at Hofstra she enrolls. Keep grinding, Tuva, in pursuit of your goals. Sarah Riesberg is working towards a Girl Scout Gold Award, a scout since her youth, how her talents have soared. She's so quiet, she's stealthy, but don't misconstrue. There's hardly a sport here that she didn't do. Swimming in ultimate, triathlon, and cross country she ran. Ohio Wesleyan in the fall is the plan. From way upstate in Skaneatlas he came. Gabe Rollin loves computers. He built one to game. Top tier in the makerspace and woodshop, those are the facts. And to top it off, 3 years playing varsity lax. Multi-talented and kind, he now sets the course for his next success as he joins the workforce. If you're looking for a trustworthy partner and friend, Bella Rucci is your girl. Her loyalty knows no end. A core member and leader, her honesty shines through. Swim team, volleyball, and a PE intern too. We will miss you, Bella, but we're glad to know you'll still be close by when to Westfield State you go. Patrick Ryan urged McCaffrey to teach video game creation. Tony said yes without much hesitation. After all, how lucky can one teacher be to have a student that knows as much, maybe more than he? Wearing purple for Patrick to let people know he's him, not his twin, but both to Florida Tech they go. And while he might be a twin, Sean Ryan is one of one. After all, how many people learn Latin for fun? A marine bioenthusiast, the open ocean his scene. His brother wears purple, so Sean would wear green. Also to Florida Tech to study next year. Enjoy the sunshine, Sean. You've certainly shown here. Margot Souter is caring and patient and ever the optimist. She loves everything about plants. She's an amateur botanist. If you saw her room, you'd be left with no doubt. It's practically a greenhouse, plants growing all about. You've grown so much here, Margot, in just 2 years to boot. Now off to Westfield State, where your talents will take root. Harrison Soap is a confident and resourceful young man, and he rivals Ken Leva as a Celtics superfan. Core member and proctor, a student leader, no doubt. TikTok of his dancing gave him social media clout. A 3-sport athlete and a mailroom employee. Success at Dean College is what we expect to see. Hailing from Loomis in the Golden State, Brooke Stryker's skills in the theater are great. A technical intern, a behind-the-scenes star. She could do it professionally. She could go that far. The next stage for her is High Point U. No limit on the wonderful things she can do. From Montecito, California, coming coast to coast, Dylan Tessling loved Mrs. Riendo's classes the most. History and government were two of his faves, and of his ultimate management skills everyone raves. Polite, kind, and loyal, the best kind of friend, prospering at Lynn, on that you can depend. Uncommonly talented, Daniel VA is the definition. Studious, motivated, and incredible musician. He likes science, likes literature, and music IB. A student athlete too, wrestling captain was he. Rewarded with a scholarship, and it's easy to see why. Next year he'll study music at URI. A star of the stage and many curtain calls, our theater has been blessed by the talent of Grace Walls. She arrived as a junior and quickly jumped in, appearing in every single production there's been. Now she exits stage left, and to Hofstra she goes. She'll be a star there too, everyone knows. Kyle Welch loves to work, especially with his dad, and to spend a day on the open water, he's glad. Between Florida and Mass, deep-sea fishing when he can. He loves military history, thinks Patton's the man. Role-playing club member, many talents indeed. At Trinidad State College, he is sure to succeed. For quietest seniors, someone have their phone on them? Seniors? No? For quietest seniors, Michaela Williams is at the top, unless she's discussing everything about K-pop. She's supremely talented, with her skill set refined in her favorite subject, which is graphic design. How fitting then that next year she'll be studying just that at Nassau CC. Mackenzie Wolf's been here for 5 years, now just one day remains, till a high school diploma and a master's in gains. He loved Kanozik's classes, writing about sport, and 2 years getting wins on the tennis court. U South Carolina, his school, his success, a safe wager, staying on brand as a sport management major. And finally, at Max Zimmer we've arrived. Honest, hardworking, and from the start he's thrived. Rookie of the year as a freshman, you know. Now a fish in the pool and you should see him row. Ithaca College did, and they said, come do it here. So that's where he's headed to compete next year. And that's the lot, from the first to the last. How fun that my first poem was our biggest class. Thank you, I'm almost done. Your work here is done, and you'll go from the hill, diplomas in hand with dreams to fulfill. Keep in touch, remember please, as you journey on, we're all family here, even after you're gone. Congratulations to the class of 2023. And I'd now like to invite Ben Parson to the stage to introduce our student speaker.
Wow, that was amazing. It's my very great honor to introduce the student speaker to you all today. Marisa has a reputation for excellence that often precedes her. The first thing I learned about Marisa, even before I met her, was that she'd given a TED Talk on learning diversity at the age of 15. Is that right? Yeah. And that was before she came to Eagle Hill. Since coming to EHS, she's kept up the momentum, taking on full IB and consistently exhibiting academic excellence at every turn, serving on the student executive board as an advocate for her peers, and being recognized for her dedication and her strength of character as a member of the Corps, which for those of you who are unfamiliar is a group of students who stand as exemplars of our 4 guiding values and work alongside the administration on behalf of the student body and for the betterment of the school. These were the things that I knew about Marisa, and I think that many of you probably know them as well. It's an impressive resume, to be sure, and one that I'm sure that she will add to in amazing and unpredictable ways as she heads off to Georgetown in the fall. But her reputation and her list of accomplishments is not really what distinguishes Marisa. What's truly remarkable about Marisa is her modesty, which comes from a sincere sense of responsibility and respect for others, and her integrity, which is singular in its character. She sees potential and purpose in everyone and helps them to see it in themselves. She is the type of leader who leads through compassion and patience and inspires others to do so by example. She has made a lasting impact here at Eagle Hill and worked tirelessly in the service of others and made our community better by her contributions. So please join me in welcoming the student speaker for the class of 2023, Marisa Gracias.
Welcome, family, friends, faculty, and most importantly, the class of 2023. For the past couple of years, Eagle Hill has been the place we call home. Our teachers and faculty have become our mentors, and our peers have become our family. So like it or not, you're all a part of my family. Given that we are honorary family members, I'd like to pass on a tradition my family has during big occasions. When we sit down for dinner, we each go around and share 3 things we're grateful for. My brother might say he's grateful for the fries he had at lunch, while my mom will launch into a tangent about every aspect of her day, from breakfast with her kids to board meetings. In those moments, we feel closer as a family and more present with ourselves. In times of uncertainty, as we head into this world, this tradition may offer a sense of purpose, confidence, or at least a different perspective. And I would like to share that with my new family. My gratitudes come not only from what I've seen and heard from my peers, but so much more. First, I know I speak for everyone when I say how grateful I am for Dr. Macdonald. He is an inspiration, a guiding light, and a mentor to many of us, and he is the reason we are all standing here today. I say he is because his purpose still lives within each of us, and he was the first person to see the potential within us. He created a community where we belong, where we thrive, and where we call home. It is so rare to find a leader who will dare you to throw a snowball at him and then 5 minutes later tell you how proud he is of you. So for that, I am grateful. He is so loved and missed within this community, and we will carry his legacy with us as we venture into our next steps. So Dr. Macdonald, thank you for everything. As students with learning differences, many of us share experiences of a system that made us feel isolated and looked down upon. However, Eagle Hill has provided a nourishing environment to help us unlock our true potential. I came to EHS a few weeks after my junior year to find more of a challenge and to find peers who valued education the way that I did. So at the beginning, I went to Dr. Ando to switch some of my classes. He suggested that I switch into the full IB program. Mind you, this was my second conversation with him, and little did he know that in 8th grade, I tested into 3rd grade math. So when he said this, I thought to myself, this guy is crazy. He doesn't even know me, and I could never handle that. But the next day, I walked into IB math with a pit in my stomach, doubting myself the entire time. Then Mr. Blaze dove right into class. He treated me like I could just jump right in and do it. I realized that I had surrounded myself with people who treated me like I deserved to be there, like I could do it. And that was when I realized the teachers here are a gift. They're able to conceive of their students' full potential and encourage us to meet it before we even suspect what's possible. Now, every family weekend, I have to bring tissues to my parent-teacher conferences because one of my parents cries tears of joy and amazement. My father quite literally describes my experience here as my brain exploding open. Second, I'm grateful for Eagle Hill's core values: purpose, honesty, kindness, and respect. These are more than just words. They're lived experiences. Their presence has shaped an environment in which we feel comfortable being our authentic selves while growing as human beings. Purpose is the cast of one act, dedicating their lives to make our school a more diverse and better place. Purpose is Ashton, devoting his talents to tech to help students and faculty make their ideas come to fruition. Honesty is Michaela, impacting the world through her art in rare ways. Honesty is Jacob, who I don't quite think you can capture in a sentence, but even though he knows most of the answers, he will still end up asking for help, which helps everyone. Kindness is Jamie and Devin, always smiling as you pass them in the halls. Kindness is Cello, slipping notes under HH1 doors just to remind people how great they are. Lastly, respect, my personal favorite. Respect is Liv, always giving a lending ear to those in need. Respect is JJ, encouraging the opposing team after a basketball game. These values serve as guiding lights, not only as students at Eagle Hill, but far beyond as we take our next steps. Lastly, I'm grateful to you, the class of 2023, whom I've watched come into your own. When reflecting on our class, one word quickly comes to mind: unity. Unity is the ability to walk down the halls and see a smiling face each time. Unity is the bond we have developed regardless of where we have gone, when we started, or the places we are go. Unity is finding connection through resilience. At a young age, we were handed a difference, a difficulty, a challenge. We have each had to learn how to cope not just with our learning differences, but the stress that comes along with them. And through those experiences, we have built resilience. We've each found our own strengths, and through each other's strengths, we learn more about ourselves and our unexpected passions. I'm grateful to the class of 2023 because you have taught me more about myself than I could have ever learned on my own. You have helped me feel like I belong. As a class, we've created a sense of unity, a sense of belonging, and through this, we're able to conceive of our potential. So as you go into the world, surround yourself with people who will help you conceive of your potential. Surround yourself with people who are grateful for the resilience that you have earned. And most importantly, know that wherever you are, you belong. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter. While we have so much to be grateful for, change is always scary. That said, the values and experiences Eagle Hill has provided us will help us embrace change rather than fear it. The resilience this class has demonstrated has been inspiring. From the small things like failing a test and showing up the next day to facing a global pandemic, we have been able to overcome the loss of a mentor and a leader, a world in constant turmoil, unprecedented changes in society, and weekly 8 a.m. college counseling meetings. All which allowed the community to rise and rise again. So as the class of 2023 prepares to take our next steps, let's take a moment and go back to the dinner table. Let's be grateful for the dining hall pizza. Let's be grateful for each other and the friendships we have formed. Let's be grateful for the core values that will guide us. Let's be grateful for the resilience each of us has developed in our path so far and our path yet to come. To the class of 2023, despite every challenge, we did it, and I wish each of you the very best. Thank you.
All right. Marisa, what can I say? Does she embody everything about this school? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, that's a hard one to follow. But it is a perfect segue. I'm honored to introduce our guest speaker this afternoon. Taveras comes to us from Esperanza Academy, which is a no-tuition school for girls in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Now, what is he doing here? Well, I asked myself that, having not met him before, but I did get a phone call from our head of school, Dr. Macdonald, who said, I have the perfect speaker, and I've already asked him to speak. Usually this is something that we discuss, but what could I say? And Jadi came to Eagle Hill. He was brought here by one of our trustees, Diana Merriam, who has been involved with this school, and she's raved about Jadi. She finally brought him to visit. And he met some of the faculty and admin staff. And PJ, in particular, was so taken with him and his mission. And I had an opportunity to speak with Jadi a little bit this morning, and I now totally understand why he's here. You can read about him in the program that you have. But what I want to say is that he and his mission at Esperanza, which of course means hope, we're conveying hope to all of you, to our senior class. He embodies all of our core values and more. And I am absolutely thrilled to introduce Jadi Taveras as our guest speaker today. I think it is so appropriate, and it is a wonderful message that he will have for all of you. Jadi.
Thank you, Marilyn. Between Marisa and Rick and that introduction, I'm not sure I'm up for the challenge right now. Distinguished faculty, honored guests, proud parents, and most importantly, the remarkable graduating class of Eagle Hill. It is with great joy that I stand before you today on this momentous occasion. As I gaze upon the gathering of talented individuals, I am reminded of the immense privilege it is to be a part of this celebration. And to each and every one of you, I want to say thank you, I'm sorry, and I love you. First of all, thank you. I'd like to express my deep gratitude to the faculty and staff of Eagle Hill, who have dedicated themselves to nurturing and shaping the minds of this exceptional class of 2023. To the parents and families, I extend my heartfelt admiration. Your love and support have been essential in the journey that has led us to this very moment. Actually, for the parents and families in the room, I would like for all of you to take a moment and reflect. Think about your child. Do you remember when they were 3 or 4? Running around and looking at their world with insatiable curiosity? Their laughter echoed, infectious and pure, a symphony of joy that brightened everything. Everything around them was fascinating. A brightly colored ball bouncing in the grass, a plane flying overhead, or a puddle beckoning to be explored. Go back further. Do you remember when they were babies? They found wonder in the simplest things, the sound of your voice calling out to them, the feeling of sand slipping through their tiny fingers, or the taste of a ripe strawberry, each sensation becoming a revelation, a gateway to understanding the world around them. Do you remember those early years? And every night you would put them to sleep, yourself exhausted. You would look at them, your heart heavy and full, knowing that you could never express to them how much you love them, how much you think about their future, how much they own your heart, and simultaneously how terrified you were. Terrified of the unknown, knowing that every day you were doing your best and wondering if your best was enough. What will they need? Who will they become? I stand in front of you today to say you should be so proud. And you should be proud for many reasons. Yes, this is a class that overcame COVID disruption in their early high school career and had an unprecedented number of college acceptances and first-choice admissions, created and starred in award-winning theater productions, and won multiple athletic championships and individual accolades. There is absolutely no doubt that this is an impressive group of kids who have collectively chosen their reality. They have persevered over and over again and have demonstrated what you always knew deep in your hearts, that the world is lucky to have them. But encapsulated in all of this is one common bond, a bond that has formed everyone in this room in immeasurable ways, a bond so secure and so loving that it will permeate your lives for generations. That bond is Eagle Hill. Parents you have chosen and students you are graduating from a remarkable institution, an exceptional community. I have lived in 7 different countries. I have worked in independent schools throughout New England, and I am currently a head of school. I know that Eagle Hill stands alone in this world. This is an institution that looks society square in the face and says, we will unapologetically create a community where each individual is loved and respected for who they are. Because we understand that brilliance, courage, and wisdom seldom present themselves as a linear formation in the human experience. At Eagle Hill, there is an ancient truth that is sacred. That is that humans learn differently. It is a safe and inspiring environment for students to explore not only their ingenuity, but their purpose. And as a result, the world is better because of Eagle Hill graduates. And when you all chose Eagle Hill, students, parents, faculty, board members, you chose Dr. Macdonald. You chose someone who believed in the power of love and opportunity. You chose someone who saw you, who believed in you, and was eager and anxious for you to soar through Eagle Hill and into the world to leave your mark. And I'm sorry. I am so deeply sorry for your loss and the complex journey of healing that lies ahead. When Dr. Macdonald called me a few months ago and asked me to be the commencement speaker, I responded by saying, PJ, you must have terrible service in Hardwick, because for a moment there it sounded like you wanted me to be a speaker at your graduation. He laughed and then said, no, Jadi, I would be honored. I have to admit, I've been asking myself why. And then it dawned on me. Dr. Macdonald had a gift. He knew how to see potential in people. He believed in giving people an opportunity to write their own story and speak their own truth. Through this work, he was a humanitarian. He looked at each and every one of you and believed in you so deeply. It is not an accident that a man with a gift like his, seeing the beauty in others, led this remarkable institution for 25 years. Dr. Macdonald was an architect of dreams, a nurturer of aspirations. With unwavering belief, he offered a guiding hand, helping every Eagle Hill student and graduate realize their worth and helping them understand who they are in the world. Graduates, there are people in your life who will open doors and see you for who you are. Pay attention to those people. They are gifts along your journey. You can stay in your hometown or you can travel the world, and I promise you they will appear. Sometimes they stay in your life and sometimes they come and go. These people live across ethnicities, races, socioeconomic status. They are humans who are put in our path for a reason. You will feel it when you meet them. When you meet someone who makes you feel like it is easy to be you, then you know that this person has been intentionally put in your path. I stand here today not as an authority figure, but as a fellow traveler on the road of life. I have traveled the path and triumphs and tribulations that accompany the pursuit of dreams. Drawing my inspiration from this shared journey, allow me to share a little bit about my story. I was a child raised by an immigrant mother, single mother, navigating a world filled with uncertainties. Growing up with undiagnosed ADHD presented its own challenges, yet I persevered. By the time I reached age 13, my family had moved from one apartment to another 8 times. In a hyper-masculine Latino culture, I often felt like I didn't fit in. I was drawn to gardening and poetry, and my empathetic nature set me apart from the narrow box of masculinity had defined for me. I yearned for others to succeed, and I felt deeply connected to the world around me. These qualities, while inherently a part of me, made it difficult to embrace who I was meant to be fully. Growing up where I grew up, there wasn't much room for a soft-hearted Latino boy with big dreams. As a Boys and Girls Club kid, I was fortunate to receive an opportunity, a chance that changed the trajectory of my life. I attended a boarding school where I faced my fair share of academic struggles. During my freshman year, I failed English and later had to repeat a grade. School was undeniably challenging for me, but my mind was vibrant with thoughts, dreams, and understanding of the complexities of the human condition. While coping mechanisms and strategies eluded me, I found solace and strength in thinking differently, in dreaming, and in empathizing deeply with others. I always knew I had great ideas, but I didn't have the environment to see those ideas come into fruition. But the spark inside me never dimmed. Eagle Hill School, a place that caters to unique learners like me, would have been an invaluable resource in my journey. However, I did not have that privilege. Instead, I pushed through with impaired executive functioning skills, grappling with a slow processing speed. I lacked an understanding of the strategies that could have supported me, consistently finding myself in environments that were ill-suited for my learning style, thinking something was wrong with me. My inferiority complex and imposter syndrome constantly nagged at me. The truth is, the world we inhabit is not designed for those who think differently. But let us not forget that it is the diverse perspectives, the unconventional minds that infuse this world with vibrancy and brilliance. That is why I love you. Without individuals like us, the world would be devoid of creativity, imagination, and the ability to understand the intricacies of life itself. Today, I am the head of school for black and brown girls, at a school for black and brown girls who come from very challenging circumstances. And oftentimes, when society looks at these girls, it has predetermined who and what they can be. And yet, we have designed a program that has completely reimagined what urban education can look like. And we are getting national attention for our model of education. School was hard for me, not because I wasn't smart, but because it wasn't designed for me. And now my ideas are coming into fruition. Our kids, who society in many ways have dismissed, are graduating from Esperanza Academy and attending the most competitive high schools in New England, including Eagle Hill. I recently wrote an article on leadership that was shared by the president of one of the largest foundations in the world. Not bad for a kid who failed freshman English. So graduates of Eagle Hill School, I stand before you today as a testament to the power of embracing your uniqueness. Embrace the challenges you have faced. They have forged in you a resilience that will carry you through any obstacle. You have to believe in yourself. I believe in you. Your journey, though different than mine, is marked by the same spirit of tenacity and pursuit of dreams. There are many realities in life, and wherever you're from, and wherever you will go, I promise you that it is beautiful and that it is challenging to find your way. Don't make it hard on yourself by being too proud or letting your ego guide you. Never miss the opportunity to say thank you to someone who has marked your life. Don't be too proud to say, I'm sorry. Never forget to say, I love you when you feel it in your heart. As you step out into the world, armed with the knowledge and support you have gained from Eagle Hill, remember that you possess an extraordinary perspective, an ability to see beyond the confines of traditional thinking. And as you embark on this new chapter of your lives, never forget that your potential to create, to empathize, and to understand the world is boundless. The world needs you. Your ideas, your dreams, and your unwavering belief that your value in this world is critical. Congratulations, graduates, on this remarkable milestone. May your impact on the world be profound. And please don't forget to say thank you, I'm sorry, and I love you along the way.
All right, the moment has come for the presentation of diplomas. I would like to call to the stage Ms. Wynn, Dr. Riendo, Crystal.
So a little change this morning because we didn't come our usual route. Our students didn't get to ring the bell. So we brought the bell to them. And as we call your names, graduates, we ask you to ring the bell before you step on stage to receive your diploma. Spencer Jack Abrams. Spencer will be attending Rollins College. Liam Eric Alshul. Liam will be attending the College of New Jersey. Catherine Olivia Abbott. Kat will be attending Plymouth State University. Ethan Foley Bashaw. Ethan will be attending Western Colorado University. Andrew Dunstan Beers. Andrew will be attending the College of Charleston. Wyatt Jackson Boyd. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Wyatt will be attending the College of Charleston. Peter James Burke. Peter will be taking a gap year before attending Lynn University. Lucia Rain Calvert. Lucia will be attending James Madison University. Lucia also spent 30 hours on her cap. Marshall Hampton Carver VII. Hampton will be attending the University of Mississippi. Maximilian Mailun Casado. Down. Down. There we go. Max will be attending the University of Denver. Spencer Peter Charrington. Down. Down. Spencer will be attending McDaniel College. James Moonho Chung. Jamie will be attending Curry College. Ashton Thomas Crump. Ashton will be doing an electrician apprenticeship. Sebastian Ignacio Dueno Diaz. Sebastian will be attending Loyola University of New Orleans. Jacob Garrison Fendler. Yeah. Jake will be taking a gap year. Evan Matthew Gage. Evan will be attending Roger Williams University. Olivia Rose Goldfarb. Olivia will be attending St. Michael's College. Maria Luisa Gracias. Marisa will be attending Georgetown University. Madeline Sloan Hornsby. Sloan will be attending High Point University. Madeline Lucia Howell. Maddie will be attending SUNY College of Agriculture and Technology. Devin Grace Heyer. Devin will be attending Rollins College. Salome Jelke. Salo will be attending Emmanuel College. Griffin Alec Jones. Griffin will be attending Endicott College. Sergey James Kelly. Serge will be attending Adelphi University. Richard Davis Kendrick. Davis will be attending the University of Denver. Abigail Grace Kirby. Abby will be attending Sacred Heart University. Max Allen Cosmeter. Max will be attending Wentworth Institute of Technology. William Keniston Krause. Will be attending the New England Institute of Technology. Andre Philip Lazarus. Andre will be attending Emerson College. Sierra Elizabeth Learned Miller. Sierra will be attending De Rigoli School of Cosmetology. Ryan Levitt. Ryan is undecided for the fall. Owen Campbell Long. Owen will be attending American University. Matthew Stephen Madriperla. Matt will be attending American University. Samuel Joseph Marabella. Sam will be attending the University of Hartford. Sienna Rose Marrero. Sienna will be attending Marshall University. Colin Thomas McDade. Colin will be attending Northeastern University. Declan Patrick McGinty. Declan will be attending Kenyon College. Edward Clay Mickey. Ned will be attending the University of New England. Caitlin Elizabeth Montague. Caitlin will be attending Roger Williams University. Catherine Elizabeth Moody. Catherine will be attending Dean College. Isabella Ruska Queiroz de Marias. Isa will be attending High Point University. Jason Paul Morelli. JJ will be attending Belmont Abbey College. Amy Elizabeth Nelson. Amy will be attending Landmark College. Gabrielle Gloria O'Hearn Veloza. Gabby will be attending the University of New Hampshire. Skylar Beekman Palmer. Skylar will be attending Champlain College. Tuva Donfe Irma Parson. Tuva will be taking a gap year before attending Hofstra University. Sarah Elizabeth Reesberg. Sarah will be attending Ohio Wesleyan University. Gabriel Gaines Rowland. Gabe will be entering the workforce. Isabella Kate Rucci. Bella will be attending Westfield State University. Patrick Warren Ryan. Patrick will be attending the Florida Institute of Technology. Sean Luke Ryan. Sean will be attending the Florida Institute of Technology. Margot Zoe Sauter. Margot will be attending Westfield State University. Harrison Cole Soap. Harrison will be attending Dean College. Brooke Nicole Stryker. Brooke will be attending High Point University. Dylan Yost Tesling. Dylan will be attending Lynn University. Alfred Daniel Viela. Daniel will be attending the University of Rhode Island. Elizabeth Grace Walls. Grace will be attending Hofstra University. Kyle Welch. I will be attending Trinidad State College. Michaela Abigail Williams. Michaela will be attending Nassau Community College. Mackenzie Thomas Wolf. Mackenzie will be attending the University of South Carolina. Maximilian Azaria Zimmer. Max will be attending Ithaca College. And there we have the class of 2023. Each year, the seniors and underclassmen compete for the 5 major awards at Eagle Hill School: the Thomas A. Schneider Entrepreneurial Award, the Be Like Brit Award, the Egenberg Award, the Citizenship Award, and our highest honor, the Headmaster's Cup. A testament to the strength of the class of 2023, each of these awards is going to a senior today. The Thomas A. Schneider Entrepreneurial Award. This award is given each year in honor of a man who for more than a decade served Eagle Hill School as an EHS parent, a member of the Parent Advisory Board, and a member of the Board of Trustees. Tom was also Dr. Macdonald's mentor, advisor, and trusted and loyal friend. Never afraid to roll up his sleeves and get down to business, Tom earned everything he got in life by combining a penchant for hard work with an entrepreneurial spirit that seemingly turned everything he touched into gold. The recipient of this award is showing early signs that he or she may someday share many of the same qualities as Mr. Schneider: wisdom beyond one's years, fierce loyalty and commitment, a desire to help others in need, and an entrepreneurial spirit that makes the seemingly impossible possible. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Thomas A. Schneider Award, Ashton Crump. The Be Like Brit Award. On January 12, 2010, a massive earthquake devastated the country of Haiti, killing hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children. Among those who perished that day was a beautiful 19-year-old woman from Rutland, Massachusetts, named Brittany Gengel. Brittany and 11 of her Lynn University classmates and two Lynn University professors were on a humanitarian mission in Haiti to feed the poorest of the poor. Brittany found her life's calling in Haiti, texting her mother, Cheryl Ann, only 2 hours before the earthquake, saying that she wanted to return to Haiti to set up an orphanage for the children. Accordingly, the Be Like Brit Foundation, where Dr. Macdonald was a founding board member, was established to honor Brit's life, legacy, and final vision. Today, the 19,000 square foot orphanage is open, and orphans from throughout Haiti are benefiting from Brit's dream. In collaboration with the Gengel family, including Brittany's brother Bernie, EHS class of 2010, and Richie, EHS class of 2013, each year Eagle Hill School honors Brittany and a deserving EHS student with the Be Like Brit Award. The winner of the Be Like Brit Award must demonstrate a strong desire to give back to others through community service, must be an advocate for the underdog in all circumstances, and most importantly, must possess a heart and soul that is beautiful and pure. Simply put, Brit was fabulous, much like the 2023 Be Like Brit Award winner, Olivia Goldfarb. The Egenberg Award. Alumni parent Nikki Egenberg, upon the graduation of her third child from Eagle Hill School in 1987, conceived of the Egenberg Award. Mrs. Egenberg was pleased that her children, who were hardworking yet unassuming, were given an unsurpassed amount of personal attention, despite the fact that they rarely demanded the spotlight. The recipient of this award is diligent, accommodating, and dutiful, an unsung hero on campus who goes about his or her daily business while modestly serving as a role model for others. I am pleased to announce that the 2023 Egenberg Award goes to one of the kindest and nicest young men you will ever meet, Liam Alshul. The Citizenship Award is given each year to 2 students who made a highly commendable commitment to the total educational program. Serving as role models for others, these students exemplify all the qualities of responsible citizenship: maturity, accountability, diligence, loyalty, and a desire to contribute to their community. Our first Citizenship Award was given on Monday at our All-School Awards program to junior Lucy Gilsdorf. Our second Citizenship Award goes to a young woman who is pure in her intentions and willing to embrace life fully. And I was so honored to join her and her family for dinner last night. I just fell in love with your Meme and Pepe. Please join me in congratulating Caitlin Montague. And finally, as Dr. Macdonald liked to say, the granddaddy of them all, the Headmaster's Cup. The Headmaster's Cup is given each year to that student who, upon the vote of the entire EHS faculty, merits the honor on the basis of his or her exemplary performance in the total educational program. This student is responsible, mature, academically curious, involved in the life of the community, hardworking, and a fine example to his or her peers. Standing out from the rest, this student has demonstrated a consistent love of learning and a respect for the Eagle Hill community. This year's winner is a person who has been involved in every aspect of EHS life: a leader, a scholar, a friend, and an amazing young woman. Please join me in congratulating the 2023 Headmaster's Trophy winner, Marisa. Gracias. Yeah, nice.
Well, we've reached the end of the program. Thank you all again. This has been such an amazing experience, a beautiful celebration. Again, I can't thank you all enough. And now appropriately, the seniors will file out alone as a symbol of our setting them free, the class of 2023. Thank you.